Hi guys, welcome to another video. Why do we not see as many luxury hauls anymore? Are luxury hauls dead in the water? Have they had their day? Does nobody want to watch a luxury haul anymore? What are my thoughts on it? Am I going to do luxury hauls in the future? Let's get going. So things have massively changed over the years, and there's probably one major reason why, but we'll come on to that. I just thought it was really interesting that back in the day when I first started watching luxury YouTube, I used to see a haul, luxury haul after luxury haul after luxury haul, unboxings happening, and not just an unboxing and then another video with an unboxing, but a haul within a video. So unboxing plenty of things, all different things in one go. And I used to love those videos. I just found it escapism, and we'll come on to the reasons why I really like those videos. And then let's talk about why we don't see so many of those anymore and why it's probably dead in the water, and what I think about the fact that it's dead in the water. Am I happy about it? Or am I quite sad about it? We'll come on to that. So why were these videos so popular back in the day? Well, I think that the reason, I can only talk about me and my opinion on this, and I think that the reason I used to watch them and were really, I suppose I was inspired by watching them, because I do not live near any luxury stores. I live sort of near-ish two big cities, but I'm not on the doorstep of either of them. And so Leeds and Manchester are my two, I suppose, nearish cities that I can get to reasonably comfortably, but neither of them are that great for luxury goods. Manchester's a little bit better. Everything happens in London. Everything happens in London. And for me to get to London is a pain, to be honest, an expensive pain, and it's not easily done in a day. It can be done, but it's a very long, expensive and tiring day. So it ends up being a hotel stay over. Anyway, it becomes a thing. It becomes an event, a trip for me to go to London. So for me to see any of these luxury goods in the flesh before I decide to buy is really, really difficult. So I used to watch a lot of YouTube in order to just see what's out there, see what collections are coming, see what's in the stores, see what people are loving, buying, what they think of them. And then it used to help me get a little bit of information before I then went to London, and I knew then what I was going to look for, rather than just trailing around all the stores and just not knowing where to start. I had a bit of a wish list in mind to go and see these things, and yes, some will disappoint when you actually do see them for yourself in the flesh, but at least it gave me a little bit of information, and I really enjoyed that. I also really enjoyed just seeing other people's joy. And I know these are just handbags, they're all just things, but they bring us some joy, and we've talked about this. And I would never watch a YouTuber and think, oh, you're showing off. You're showing these things that you've bought with all this money. I would just be inspired by that. And I would, in a way, I could aspire to be able to afford something like that, and it'd give me some incentive to save up and make other sacrifices and things like that. But it'd also just bring me some joy, joining in somebody else's joy. I just love it. And that was one of the reasons why I ended up starting my own YouTube channel, because watching all these fabulous, and I want to say women, but not just women, fabulous people sharing some of this with us, I wanted to get in on the act, and I wanted to connect with people who were similar to me, because in my world there are not very many people who are like me. You probably think that's a good thing. But yeah, it's something that a lot of people don't get it. They do not get it, and that's kind of completely and utterly fine. But when they don't get it, I can't share some of these things because it does feel like I'm showing off or rubbing their nose in it. I don't know, it feels difficult with people who don't get it. So I went into the world of YouTube in order to find some connection to people who get it. So that is why I started watching YouTube. That's why I started my channel. And my favourite videos were always the hauls, the unboxings and the hauls, because you get to see the goodies and I really like it. And if there was a really big haul, it was really exciting because I'd be guessing what the person had bought because I might have seen the vlog beforehand, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it. So yeah, spoiler alert, I still enjoy a haul video, an unboxing video. They're some of my favourites for me to film. So why do I think that these have dissipated away over the years? Well, I think one big thing was COVID. Obviously, when the pandemic happened, things changed a lot, and we're not going to go through all of that because we know all the changes. People, in a nutshell, people didn't buy and then realised they did have some money because people were furloughed, particularly in this country. People were furloughed and they weren't working and they weren't able to do all these other things with their money, and therefore they started buying luxury goods. So all the prices went up and we had a whole thing, didn't we? And a lot of YouTubers who were sort of just ticking along on YouTube before the pandemic became huge because we're all watching these things. Because, well, I was in a different situation to most people, but most people had time on their hands, and so they were watching all these things and then buying things online that could be bought online, or they were just waiting until things opened up and then they were buying things. So the luxury market had such a resurgence and everything else, and of course there were lots and lots of unboxings happening. So people, some of the YouTubers who either started their channel in COVID or started before COVID, it just became a big thing. I started after. I missed the boat really, but I started it after, and I started at a time where I had more time to do it because of my career and everything else. So that is the timing of everything. But I think that since that we had such a high where there was a period where people did have money to burn because they weren't spending it on travelling or other things, and all these luxury goods were coming and we're getting all the videos, and then it felt like it went the other way, that things became harder, as they're gonna do. We go in cycles in the economy, and we hit globally recessions happening, things not so great anymore. That high that came after COVID, then things are very, very difficult, and they are still very, very difficult for many people. And it's become a little bit of a thing that these things become very frivolous, or it's just tone deaf to talk about spending money when other people are having issues and struggling and everything else. And I think that we have gone through a period where it feels not the right thing to do. Even if you're in the position where you can still buy huge hauls worth of stuff, then it feels, for some people, it feels tone deaf. And there's a little bit of a backlash, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it can, if people don't get it, but yet they're still watching, people aren't as open to hauls anymore. So I think people have genuinely either stopped doing them because they haven't the money to do them anymore, or they haven't got the inclination to do them anymore, or they would love to do them but they feel they shouldn't do them because they don't want to appear as tone deaf. So where am I on this? Well, I see these videos, all of these videos that we do in the luxury space, 99% of the time these videos are entertainment, they are escapism. They may have some information, and hopefully they are a little bit informative for you guys, like they are to me. So people who can't get to a store and they want to just see these things, or they want to share in somebody else's joy. That's what these videos are about. They're not deep, they are not controversial, they are not I don't know. We're not trying to save the world. We're trying to just give a little bit of escapism when we know all these things are happening in the background in the world. And we know that things are really difficult in many, many places in the world. And it doesn't detract from that. It's just offering a little bit of entertainment and escapism. And that's how I see it. So for me, I still love those unboxings and hauls, and I still want to see them. I still want to do them. And so I am going to continue doing what I do. Now, the reason I don't do many hauls as such, I do a few unboxings. I don't do masses of hauls, and there is a big reason for that, and it's not because I don't want to, it's because my funds are such that I can buy a certain bag, and my choice of bag more recently has been the more special type of bag, which means it costs a lot of money, and therefore my unboxings are spaced apart because I can't afford a lot of things at the same time. I could choose for what I spent, maybe any of these bags, just literally choose this one because it's randomly behind me. For the amount that I spent on this one particular bag, I could have bought quite a few things from still luxury from other fashion houses, and maybe had 3 or 4, 5 things to open for you. I could have bought a more, I'm going to say cheaper, we don't like that word, a bag that doesn't cost as much as this. I could have bought a bag or 2. I could have bought maybe 2 Louis Vuitton bags. I could have bought some SLGs, maybe some sunglasses, maybe some perfume, maybe all sorts of other things. Then I could have made it into a haul. But none of these purchases that I do on YouTube are for YouTube. These are things that I want and love in my real world, and I just show them to you. And that's how we all work. All of my friends all on YouTube, we all do the same thing. None of us create content by, oh, I'm going to buy that because that'll be good for content. We buy what we love and we then show it to you. So my version of that is, I really wanted this one and it meant that, yeah, my priorities had to be that was the bag. I wasn't going to buy lots of other things and be able to open them. So that is why I don't do hauls, because I don't buy a lot of things all at the same time, because my funds won't allow that, or they won't allow it once I've bought something like this. So, and also the other thing for me is I don't buy a lot of SLGs. I don't buy a lot of accessories. I buy the odd pair of earrings, costume jewellery usually. Scarves I've stopped buying. I haven't bought a scarf for a long time. I don't buy designer sunglasses because I have to have prescription sunglasses. So I have one pair, and they're actually here. I have one pair of designer sunglasses that are prescription lenses, and I stick with those until I need my prescription changing. So it saved me a lot. I mean, they're expensive because I have very complicated eyes, so the lenses are super expensive. However, it saved me money in buying all these other sunglasses, which is in a way good, in a way bad, because I love them, but yeah, I just can't wear them. So I don't buy a lot of that. I don't buy a lot of designer stationery, although I do love it, but I sort of tend to not do that so much, and therefore my purchases tend to be one big thing at once. That may change, and I did do a haul when I came back from New York, because I ended up buying quite a few. I think I bought 5 bags in New York, but they were all, apart from one, they were vintage, pre-loved. They were a lot more affordable. So on that one I did buy more, because I could have bought one big special thing or 5. So for that reason I just went mad in Fashion File. That was the problem. But that's very unusual for me, and that's because I was on a trip, and it's completely different when you're looking in a city where, yeah, you don't know what they have to offer. So, and the prices of new items out there were crazy, so, and the sales tax. So anyway, It's very, very unusual. So I don't do that many, but it isn't because I don't want to, and it isn't because I think I shouldn't. I'm just going to show you guys what I buy. And if it ends up being a little bit of a haul at some point, then I'm going to show you that. If it ends up being one thing and then we've got a gap of 6 months to the next thing, then it's going to be that, because that is what is happening in my world, and that's what I want to share. So yeah, where do we go from here? Well, I do think that many haul channels do get a lot of heat. I know my good friend Meredith, she has honestly one of the most insane handbag collections. It must be in the world, it must be. And she is an incredible woman, absolutely incredible, and I love her dearly. You know, Meredith, I love you dearly. And Meredith does quite a lot of unboxings because she is a collector. She likes to collect all these different things, and I love watching her channel because I can live vicariously through Meredith, and I get to see all these things, and I've shown her joy and she loves it. So yeah, but she does get a lot of heat sometimes for it, which I think is completely and utterly unwarranted. If you guys don't love hauls, then just skip past those videos and watch some of the more chatty ones like this, or just don't watch at all if it's not for you. But yeah, I'm a little bit sad that hauls seem to have died a death, because I really enjoy them. So I'm going to leave you on that note. I really enjoy them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on another one.